The Toronto Raptors absolutely dominate, and I mean pummel the Chicago Bulls to the point where I cannot even give you the score yet because the game is still going. There is absolutely no point waiting for this game to end. There is 58 seconds left in this game. No, 38.6 seconds left in this game. And it is 139 to 107. So I will give you the final score in just a minute or so. But boy, I mean, this was just an absolute beatdown. Just a beatdown. I mean, wow. I mean, this is what you want to see when the Raptors, as a playoff team, are going up against the lowly Chicago Bulls or any team as bad as the Chicago Bulls at this point. And remember, the Raptors came into this thing fifth in the Eastern Conference. They jumped back up to fifth. They have a few good wins, and now they go up against the Chicago Bulls and absolutely just take care of business. This is what you need. This is what you need. We don't have time to play around anymore. I told you, for teams like the Raptors, in the position that they are in, it's already the playoffs for them. This seeding is a real thing. The seeding is a real thing here, and the Atlanta Hawks are coming. You don't have time to play around. The Orlando Magic are there as well. The Miami Heat, they're all hovering around. They're all hovering around. If you're playing against the teams like the Bulls, damn it, you got to go out and whoop ass. You got to go out and whoop carcass. I mean, you got to whoop some behind here. Okay, one more time, damn it. Listen, this is what it got to sound like when you're out there playing against the Bulls. You just have to. All right, we got a final score, 139 to 109 for the Raptors. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to drop one. And ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls, I mean, yikes. Just yikes. I mean, the season is over for them. I'm hoping they come back stronger next season. It is clear that they had to pick a direction of where they were going with this franchise. And the direction that they picked is they are going straight to the bottom and looking for draft picks at this point. And so I'm hoping that we can see them come back strong. They have some decent pieces and some talented pieces. What they're going to do with them, if they're going to trade them, I don't know what they're going to do with them in the offseason, but I think we should hold a moment of silence for the Chicago Bulls. We sweep the season series with them. Let's hold a moment of silence here. Damn shame what happened to the Chicago Bulls this season. But that's just how it goes. That's how it goes, man. You got to make some good retooling moves in the offseason, get some good draft picks, and see what you come back with next season. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls, though. Coming into this one, like I mentioned, Raptors, fifth in the Eastern Conference, and the Raptors are in game one of a 5-game road trip. So this is going to be important. Still on the way to 47 wins, if you ask me. That was my prediction, and I believe the Raptors will still get that. Okay, so 39 and 29 on the season. You are 8 games away. And the other teams on this road trip going ahead, we have Denver on Friday, Phoenix on Sunday, the Utah Jazz on a back-to-back on Monday, and then the LA Clippers on March 25th, which is Wednesday night. And then you're back home for the New Orleans Pelicans on a rare 8:30 game, a rare 8:30 home game. That's going to be interesting, especially because who is it against? The Pelicans. The Pelicans. We have unfinished business with the New Orleans Pelicans. But before we get to them, let's discuss what happened here tonight against the Chicago Bulls. First off, like I mentioned, The Bulls are awful. The Bulls are absolutely putrid. I mean, you gotta call it how it is, and they're just not a good basketball team. They're not, but we also gotta give a lot of love for the Raptors for going out and just doing what they had to do. All 5 starters tonight in double figures for the Raptors. Drop a bomb here. Okay, and so with that being said, let's just get into this thing, and then I'll break things down as we go along, okay? Because the Raptors got off to a pretty damn good start in this game. They led from start to finish in this one. 10-2 Raptors run to start the game. And the guy who had the quick start and a good scoring night, he's been having some good scoring nights for the Raptors, is one RJ Barrett. 27 minutes in this game. He had 23 points, 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3-point range, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in this game, and a block. So, well, drop one for him. And did you guys hear I don't have the quote, but paraphrase, Sandro Mamukelashvili when he talked about the Raptors being a bit complacent and comfortable at that number 5 spot in the Eastern Conference because they had been there for so long in the season. And when they went up against the Pelicans, it was a wake-up call for them that you can't get comfortable and that when adversity hits, you need to find ways to combat it. All right. And so it's like we've all talked about in the comments, adversity will strike. And that right there, you have to learn from that moment. And the Raptors have looked a bit more desperate, a bit more sharp ever since that game came along. And we expect them to see them in that type of formation for the rest of the season while um, this dreaded, what do we call it, seeding is going on. You're propping for position here at this point. Quickley was looking pretty good from a defensive standpoint. He didn't really do or go crazy offensively from a scoring standpoint. 26 minutes, 10 points, 4 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3-point range. But he did give you 7 assists, which I really like, 2 steals as well, just 2 rebounds. But overall, what I'd like from Quickley, I mean, you didn't really need much from him tonight because we had other guys do some pretty good damage off the bench as well. But I mean, this was just a rump kicking. And so those 7 assists are what you like to see on him on the defensive end, getting into the passing lanes as well, is what you like to see, being accountable for keeping his man in front of him, which is good. Because I thought he's been doing a really decent job on both ends of the floor lately. Haven't had any complaints about Immanuel Quickley in a long while now, to be completely honest with you at this point. He's looking much better than he's looked compared to the beginning of the season. And from a defensive standpoint as well, in regards to RJ Barrett, he's been doing pretty well at the same time. One of the big things we've talked about religiously when it comes to RJ Barrett is what he's doing on the defensive end, because that seems to be his Achilles heel in regards to him being on the floor. Not so much offensively. Sometimes you don't like the shots that he takes, but even him, I don't find he takes terrible shots all the time. Sometimes, you want him to make that extra pass or you think he can get a higher percentage look. But overall, he does a pretty decent job with his shot selection. The other part now is what he's doing defensively. How many points is he giving up? Right? That's been one of the complaints. And so that is what we're keeping our eye on in regards to one RJ Barrett. RJ's been doing a better job keeping his man in front of him. And the other thing that I see that he's doing is he's playing with a level of physicality that he wasn't playing with earlier on in the season. I think he's trying to step up and take the challenge to and take accountability of doing a better job defensively, being able to guard multiple positions and being physical, throwing them off their game a little bit, bumping them around, making sure that his presence is felt, and him being able to switch onto a 2, a 3, a 4, even a 1 at times if necessary, showing that, you know what, he has a level of versatility defensively, right? Because you're going to need that when you're going up into the playoffs. And I'm assuming the Raptors are going to be a playoff team, not a play-in team. There's a lot of time for things to change, obviously, but I'm just letting you know what I think here. Especially when you look at the schedule down the stretch that the Raptors have, right? I mean, like it's actually some pretty tough games, but you know, Denver, Phoenix, Utah, the Clippers, the Pelicans, Orlando, Detroit again, Sacramento, Memphis, Boston. You got Miami on a back to back on Tuesday, April 7th and 9th. And then you got the Knicks and the Nets. And so those look like, how many games is that we got remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games left. Okay, so I mean, to get to what 47, you got to get at least 8 more wins here to get to 47 wins, which I think is very doable for the Raptors at this point. But Darko in this one played 9 guys pretty early in this game. And the Raptors, the good thing about it is they got some production from their bench tonight. Okay. Pretty much everybody played in this game. And I mean, everybody saw minutes for the Raptors. Sandro Mamukelashvili, 22 minutes in this one, but gave you 17 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3-point range, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal in this one. And so when it comes to Sandro, damn it, Jackson Davis got some minutes in this one. Jamison Battle played 22 minutes. He went 2 of 4 from 3-point range. Jonathan Mobile played 7 minutes. Garrett Temple, when Garrett Temple gets in the game, damn it, you know it's a blowout. Jamal Shed played 18 minutes in this game as well. But one of the guys that I would like to speak about just a second here is Jakob Poeltl. So I'll talk about him in just a second. So anyway, nice turnaround jumper from Scotty Barnes at the end of the first quarter to make it a 32-17 ball game. RJ had 10 points early in this one. And so going into that second quarter, the Raptors now were a bit slow closing out on 3-point shots. They did cut the lead to 10, 42-32. Raptors 18-8 points in the paint, and that is with 8:12 remaining in this game. And so one of the concerns to me, I was saying, okay, Raptors not doing a pretty good job here tonight in regards to fast break points. It was actually a 7-point deficit in this game. And points in the paint actually ended up being just +2, 60-58 for the Raptors in this one. They did force 19 turnovers out of the Chicago Bulls, but the Raptors, now that I'm looking at it, actually had 18 turnovers as well. I do like the 33 assists on the 48 made field goals. But games like this are kind of hard to judge from a statistical standpoint when it is a blowout, a 30-point game, right? 33 times at the free throw line, which I did like for the Raptors. And we have talked about that a lot. Being aggressive going to the line, right? 29 of 33. So good free throw shooting. You shot 88% from the line and you won the rebounding battle. 43-36 tonight, which is a good sign. Your 3-point shooting was better. You shot 42% from 3-point range, 14 of 33, and you shot 57% overall from the field, which is actually really good. So I'm going to drop one from the field in this game. 53-38 with 5:41 remaining in that second quarter. And at that point, 13 assists on 20 made field goals. The Raptors did force 9 turnovers midway through that second quarter because the defense was impressive. Their defense was impressive in this one. I will give them credit where it is due. It was not a close game. We don't want to see that. You go up against the Bulls, you whoop their ass up and down the court. Okay. And you get this thing over with early. You got Denver coming up. And you already know that one is going to be a serious, serious challenge. Now, one thing that I did like that I saw from the Raptors, and I mentioned to you about physicality, they weren't giving up many baskets in the paint without sending them to the free throw line. So I did like that, especially early on in this game. Towards the end of the game, yeah, they piled up a bunch of points in the key because it was a blowout. And honestly, they were just kind of tightening this thing up. And I mean, you still lose by 30. But I did like the Raptors being physical, sending them to the free throw line, instead of just giving them baskets because you don't want to get them in a rhythm, right? And I've spoken about that before. You want to be careful with getting guys in rhythm. If you have a foul that you can give, especially if you're playing your bench deep early, give that foul up. Give it up. Don't get them in a rhythm making field goals. Put them at the free throw line and disrupt that. 4 of 5 starters in double figures at the half, 72-45 at the half. The Raptors almost with a 30-point lead. The Raptors come out in the third. They're moving the ball, and guys are moving better without the basketball. Sandro Mamukelashvili, Quickley, Barrett, cutting, slashing, finding them back door. You got to find other ways to score besides ISO. You got to find other ways to score besides ISO. And that the Raptors were doing a better job offensively. Brandon Ingram was scoring early on in this game, and he had 18 points in 29 minutes, 6 of 7 from the field, 101 from 3-point range, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but he gave you 4 turnovers as well. And you got to be careful when it comes to that if you're Ingram. Scotty Barnes, pretty easy game for him. Light work, 25 minutes, 18 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point range, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists in this one. Gave you a steal as well. I'm going to drop one for both of these guys that I mentioned. Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl was making shots, man. And he had 13 points with 3:47 remaining in this game. And he had a big chase down block that led to a Mamu dunk on the other end. Jacoby's going to be important going forward. And I know I've spoken about this before, but a part of us as a basketball community talking about the Raptors over and over, we got to be consistent with the things that we say. So I got to be repetitive, right? Because you got to remember, like, a lot of the things that I say and that the things that we actually talk about in the comments, because we're always in the comments, a lot of these things that are happening are all things that, remember, that we have discussed for months at the beginning of the season when this whole thing started, right? So the things that we talk about are not a coincidence. We have the evidence. We have the receipts of the things that we've all discussed in the comments on this show. We have all the receipts here. So nobody can go back and say that these aren't things that we haven't talked about. Jacoby is going to be very important for the Raptors going forward, especially getting into that nitty-gritty and around playoff time. He's a guy who can make shots, and he's good defensively and can pick you up 94 feet. He can do it on both ends of the floor. Can score, but not just score, can make shots. He can make shots. And what is going to happen with Jamison Battle moving forward? Is he going to be the guy that you're going to move forward with when you're looking for shooting? Because we didn't see Grady again in this game until the fourth quarter. We did not see Grady again until the fourth quarter in this game. And so you're going to have to make a decision if you're Darko, which it looks like he has already. It looks like he's going forward with Battle. But Denver coming up is going to be a very good test for the Raptors come Friday. We're going to learn a little bit more about this team. We're going to learn a little bit more about this team. You're going to have some fight. You're going to have to play smart. You're going up against the Joker, so Poeltl's going to have to be on his A game. And speaking about Poeltl, I'm going to drop one for him. One for Jakob Poeltl, because still getting into form, still looking better. And I wouldn't say still getting into form. He's kind of in form now, right? 21 minutes in this game, so light minutes in this game. He didn't need more than that, but he gave you 17 points and 8 rebounds with an efficient 7 of 10 from the field, 2 assists in this game as well, 1 steal, 1 block. And so Jakob Poeltl is doing exactly what he needs to do still, and it is good to have him back, baby, and looking good in the lineup. 20-8 with points off of turnovers. and Raptors 38-28 for rebounds after that third quarter. And then you get into the fourth quarter, and it's just a beatdown. It's just an absolute beatdown. I mean, nothing left to be said here. There's really no point talking about the fourth. I mean, the guys were checked out early in this one, and I mean, honestly, they didn't need to play anymore. I mean, Scotty 25 minutes, Ingram 29, RJ 27, Poeltl 21, Quickley 26, and then 20 plus points for 20 plus minutes for Walter off the bench, Battle, and Sandro. Shed plays 18. Grady Dick ends up playing 10. Like the Raptors just came in, executed, did what they had to do. And so that is all she wrote in this one. Keep your eye on what happens to the Raptors Friday night in Denver. It's not just going to be about winning and losing. It's going to be about how they actually play in this game. And so we will have a lot to speak about after that game concludes. Player profile coming up. Can you guess who that player profile is going to be? It should be a good one. It should really be a good one coming up. So the Toronto Raptors absolutely destroy the Chicago Bulls. At Mike Roach 7 on IG, at Mike Roach 23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the Mike Roach Show. We're getting down into that nitty gritty. The Raptors got to go 10 toes down at this point and really, really lock in as these teams make their last big push to get into the NBA playoffs. This is the Mike Roach Show. Until next time, get into the comments. Let's have a discussion. Talk to you soon. I'm out.